is a pattern of the way they go after Black women in position of power. It's a specific thing that they pinpoint at. I have examples and receipts. Yay for Lisa Cook. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has agreed with the district court, telling her that she has to stay in her job, and just in time because this week the Federal Reserve is about to meet, and so this was on an expedited basis, and she won. Now, what I'm going to tell you is the way that Donald Trump went after her was racialized and gendered, and it is a pattern of the way they go after Black women in position of power. It's a specific thing that they pinpoint at. I have examples and receipts. Stay tuned to this video. First of all, quick background. I'm JayLegal. I'm in the dockets. What does that mean? I am watching the lawsuits filed against the Trump administration and the lawsuits that the Trump administration files against other people. I'm in the dockets mean that I am watching beyond the headlines what happens, what filings, what are they saying. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, follow this account, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and share this with others. Now, here's the thing. In the 111-year history of the Federal Reserve, not once has a president attempted to remove a Board of Governors member. Not once. But Donald Trump is a racist and sexist, so he tries to remove her. Of all the people, why? There's a reason. What the Supreme Court has been doing, this entire administration, since January, is Donald Trump has been firing independent agency chairs and chiefs, even the ones that were created by Congress. And those positions, when Congress created those positions, Congress did not want it to be politicized. Congress said that the president, because they're on the executive, can get rid of someone with cause, right? Now, Donald Trump doesn't care. He's been filing these people at will on moment's notice, just an email. He doesn't even call them himself, removing people. So, of course, a lot of them have been suing. And, of course, the district court judges, when these suits come before them, they say, okay, you were just sued. You weren't given a reason for being why he accused you or took you off. And the law, Congress said, yeah, you have to be fired for cause. So, yes, you can stay on your case, stay on your job while we finish the briefing. Because, you know, cases take like briefings, there's hearings before I make my final decision. More likely than not, when I'm done, you're going to win. So in order for you to continue to do your work, you're going to stay there. So that's how these people who Donald Trump has fired have been able to stay at their job, because the district court judge said you can keep your job. A lot of times the Court of Appeals affirms, meaning backs up what the district court judge has said. So they're good. When these cases reach the Supreme Court, Donald Trump appeals them every single time. The Supreme Court, on emergency docket, they don't have to. They can leave it. They have the option to just leave it so these people can stay their job. Let the case continue and eventually make it up to Supreme Court on substantive ground. They instead intervene and lift the block, essentially saying you can fire these people while the case goes forward. They've been doing it time and time again. I do believe they're trying to overrule this case called Humphrey's Executor, which is another version of the Supreme Court. And then that case, they essentially said that the only time an executive like the president can get rid of an independent agency head is for a cause. I think they're trying to expand the power of the executive so he can be able to make sure the people in his, all the agencies are aligned with his ideology, aligned with his policy, directive, and agenda. I think that's what they're trying to do, and that's why they've been pausing it. However, here's the thing you need to know. In one specific challenge, one of them, the one where the Gwen Wilcox, which is the first Black woman who was the National Labor Relations Board, of course he fired her, Kathy Harris, who is the chair of the Merit System Protection Board, on their case when it went to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court did the usual bullshit and paused it, they specifically made a carve-out. They said this stay does not apply to the Federal Reserve. You cannot fire the Federal Reserve unless for cause. I think that was a nod and wink to Donald Trump. Like, if you cannot get rid of any of those people, you better have a cause, right? Put a pin in that. So because he could only fire for cause, unlike the other ones he just fired at will, he needed to get a reason. So enter Bill Pulte, who apparently, I didn't even know this, is the heir of the Pulte home builders. Bill Pulte tells Donald Trump, we're going to go after Black women and we're going to go after mortgage fraud. And he makes this allegation that of the 3 homes that Lisa Cook owns, one in Massachusetts, one in Michigan, and one in Georgia, they only challenged the 2, the one in Michigan where she lives and the one in Georgia, that she listed on her mortgage application primary residence for both of them. There's a reason why. Now, it turns out she proved her receipts during the case of this challenge, because she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she said, I listed my Georgia as a vacation home. What are you talking about? So she has that evidence. Had they not fired her, had Donald Trump at least did the process and say, okay, I allege that you did mortgage fraud, bring me your evidence, and she could bring her evidence and prove that she didn't, and in which case that'd be the end of it. You have no cause, no reason to fire me. He didn't give her a chance to do that because he just fired her blanketly. She's sued. Now, the district court looked at it. They didn't even get to the evidence. They just said, okay, you're firing her for something that you say she did before she was board of governors. The law says while she's board of governors, you can only fire her if she does a dereliction duty during the case, during her time that she's on board of governors. During board of governors, she's done nothing. He has nothing on her. That's why they reached back and got this before she's board of governors, right? So Judge JayLegal was like, so this doesn't apply. The law doesn't apply. You can't fire her. You have no cause. Then even if you had a cause, you were supposed to give her a process. Her job is part of her, before you deprive someone of their life, liberty, or property, if the job is kind of like a property, you should have given her due process. The Court of Appeals agreed with her, or 2 out of the 3. George, of course, what's his name? Katz's. He used to work for Trump. So of course he's going to bend his neck backwards to give Trump that win. The other 2 judges who did was Judge Brad Garcia and Judge Michelle Childs. Both of them are Biden appointees. They agreed with the district court judge. That's recently. So this should be the end of it, right? Now, let me tell you, before I tell you why this should be the end of it, let me tell you why this was specific to Black women. In recent history, when the establishment or whoever has tried to take down a Black woman, they have been successful or close to successful when they look for mortgage fraud. The most example of them being kind of successful is prosecutor in Baltimore, Marilyn Mosby. She prosecuted the cops on the Freddie Gray case. They didn't like that, so they went after her. They looked for things. They found some irregularities regarding her property. And actually, that was one of the bases for which they took her down, that she had claimed something, double taxes or something. I'm not quite sure the details, but they took her down partially on that, right? They were able to actually convict her on that. So my senator, Angela Alsop, when the opposition research people were looking for reasons to attack her, the same thing. They said they went to her properties. She owns 2 homes. It's like Black people can't own 2 homes. It's like if they own 2 homes, it's by fraud. They got those 2 homes. I don't know. I don't know the reason behind it. They go to Angela Alsop, and that's what all of the attack ads are saying, that she claimed the tax credit for 2 homes, that you can only claim the tax credit for 1 home, not 2. Then they said, well, when she bought her house, she claimed on the documents. They're all in her business. That she said the $5,000 she put down, she got from her husband. She really got it from her. These are the things that they're trying to take her down. Obviously, she's a senator now, so it didn't work. And that was just opinions, allegations. They really didn't. But that's a pattern. They look to Black women who own multiple properties, and they say there has to be some fraud related to the way they owned it. Let's go after that. That's the juicy gossip. That's where we're going to get them. And that's what Bill Pulte thought he was going to get when he's claimed that she must have claimed. And it turns out, someone told me, Bill Pulte's father and stepfather were busted for claiming 2 properties as primary. And when it was discovered in the news and the media and the scandal that the other state that they had falsely claimed went after the taxes. So every accusation is a confession with these nuts. Anyway, so that's the pattern. The reason why the Supreme Court has no damn business messing with her is because they had that carve-out. They said specifically in that the Kathy, the case regarding NLRB and the I think it was a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau case. And in one of the cases, they specifically said the Federal Reserve can only be for a cause. So they carved it out. So she wins on facts, on substance. If they were allowed to go back to the past, she would win because she ain't coming nowhere for it. And then they have no cause. He has nothing. It's done. If they were to appeal this en banc to the full panel, the DC Court of Appeals is liberal. Donald Trump will lose. And if he goes to the Supreme Court, he's going to force them to have to make him lose again. So in order to save face, I think that's the end of the case. That's my theory. That's what I'm going with. It's JJ Legal, each one teach one. This video is sponsored JayLegal.com. If you want to get information from me to you in your box weekly, sign up for our newsletter at JayLegal.com. You can get my case trackers, know your rights cards, my templates, merch, all that stuff there. Each one teach one. Share this video with other people. Let's discuss more. What do you think? And in the meantime, if you want to check out more videos from me, check out right here. I'm going to